So, I know I'm a little late, but I've been very much enjoying the new Doom game, Doom the Dark Ages. I wasn't originally going to get it at launch, I was going to wait for a price cut later down the line, but I saw that they were having, like, limited stock on them, and also, like, I'm at a point in my life where it's just, like, I really needed a new Doom game, so I just decided to pick it up then and there. I ordered it, and then I picked it up from Best Buy after I got home from school. And, quick disclaimer, this isn't, like, a full, like, review, this is more just me saying my thoughts, because I'm only halfway through the game. There are 22 missions in the game. I've so far played 11 of them. It's pretty good. Although from what I hear, this is a more controversial entry in the franchise. Ooh. So, my personal history with Doom on the Nintendo Switch. I saw a cheap game called Doom on the, I was aware of Doom at the time, but I saw that Doom was, like, really cheap. It was, like, on sale for $2 at the time, the original Doom. So I picked it up, and I loved it. I eventually picked up Doom 2, and I loved it. I played Doom 3 on the original Xbox, and I kind of dropped it after a while, because I didn't really like it that much. But those original two Doom games kind of gave me that feeling, that rush, that, like, thirst for blood, that, like, I don't know, just really, that I really enjoy, because I've never really enjoyed many shooters outside of that. I've played games like Halo and Call of Duty, but they never really grabbed me in the same way that Doom does. Just classic running and gunning and blowing up, destroying demons with giant weapons. It's incredible. Also, Doom 64, I tried to play. I'm gonna beat it one of these days. It's a good game. It just on the emulator I was playing it on, it just did not. It was like really dark. I couldn't get it. The issue to fix. Sorry. So I never really ended up playing through Doom 3. So I never really ended up fully playing through Doom 64, but I'd like to someday. Then after that, I decided to pick up Doom 2016, and it's one of my top 10 games ever. It brings that classic Doom to the modern day, and I can't thank it enough for that. That classic run and gun action that I just love so much. Then 4 years later, Doom Eternal came out. I picked that up as well. I picked them up subsequently, because I played Doom 2016 and Eternal back-to-back in 2023, I want to say. And Eternal is a good game, but I don't like how it leaned more into, like, the level design aspects and the puzzles and stuff, and the platforming as opposed to the running and gunning, which I can appreciate to an extent, but I do like that style of gameplay. I just like the style in Doom 2016 a little more. So I was excited to see that this new Doom game is a bit of a combination of those two, still having, like, platforms and puzzles and stuff, but retaining a lot of that more run and gun action, as well as adding some more agility that can add to your combat, which is something I appreciated. The music is rockin', not nearly as rockin' as Eternal in 2016. The tracks in this game aren't nearly as memorable, but I still like them. And the whole setup of this game are, like, the runes and the logs that you found in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal for, like, Doom Guys Past and stuff. Like, now you're playing through it, which is, like, way past cool, because instead of reading the lore this time around, you get to watch it in the actual cutscenes, which I guess kind of breaks up the flow of the game sometimes, but I can still appreciate it because these cutscenes look awesome. This entire game looks awesome. The medieval aesthetic that they go for in this game, while it kind of makes some areas look samey, it's really beautiful. They did a good job here, as well as this being the first Doom game in 4K, so of course it was going to look good. People like to say this game isn't a massive step up from the last two, but I'd like to disagree. There is so much better presentation in this game. There's even, like, little bits where, like, now instead of, like, demons, like, blowing up and stuff, which I like the Omega violence that this game had. But I can also appreciate the whole idea that now, like, when you shoot a demon in a specific spot, like, those parts of the flesh and the skin will start to, like, chunk off first, which is, like, oh my god, it's amazing. But the game is beautiful. It's still pretty violent, even if it's not as violent as it used to be. But yeah, it retains that run and gun action that I love so much. It has a good chunk of old weapons as well as some new ones. I've unlocked pretty much all the weapons at this point besides, like, their upgrades, and I gotta say I enjoy every single one. Each one has a unique purpose, and even if you still want to, you can still just spam one weapon, but you'll definitely get some use out of swapping between them, because they are a lot more situational, and there's still benefits to using them in different situations, as opposed to how I feel like previous games went about this, where they were, of course, you would have different uses for them, but you could use pretty much any gun to get the job done. They did remove glory kills for the most part. Like, they're not as prominent in the gameplay. Like, there are some specific circumstances where you can get glory kills in, which kind of disappoints me. The glory kills are some of my favorite things to watch in the original 2 Doom reboot games, but there's still like some instances where you can perform them, and I guess it doesn't break up the gameplay as much, so I can appreciate it from that standpoint. But of course, the big new addition to Doomslayer's moveset this game is the shield. Now the game isn't purely running and gunning and shooting things and dodging all over the place. Now there's an added element where you can shield some attacks. Like, you have a barrage of bullets coming your way, you can shield to protect yourself before shooting out, or you can use the shield as a projectile to throw them at certain enemies. Like, you can throw that's a main method of like breaking shields, is once you do enough damage to them, you can just make them explode by throwing the shield at it. And the shield also adds a parry move to Doomslayer's moveset. Any like green bullets or any green energy or anything, you can now parry to send back at the enemy, and this is a big part of the gameplay loop this time around. You definitely need to parry if you want to play this game properly, which I understand why some people wouldn't like it, but I think it adds a lot of depth to the Doom gameplay, while still keeping it very running and gunny. There's still a lot of running, and there's still a lot of gunning, and there's still like the fast-paced dodging and stuff that you have in the original. The shield doesn't completely get rid of that. It just adds another element, another layer of gameplay, which I really appreciate. I don't know what's up with these people that are saying, oh, it's just like, it's stealing from Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls isn't the first and only game to have a parry system. The game plays nothing like a Souls-like, so calm down. But the enemy variety this time around is not as pleasurable as before. Like, you see a lot more of the same enemies over and over again, and this is even apparent with the bosses, which can even be just like souped up versions of normal enemies, which is, I mean, I miss the unique bosses. There's not too many I've seen in this game up to the halfway point. Hopefully there's some better bosses in the second half of the game. Maybe I'll come back and do another video once I've fully experienced the game, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out now so far. But also there's this weird system where like sometimes it'll dump you in an arena where there's a primary enemy that like once you beat it, it gives you like an upgrade to your health or your weapon capacity or whatever, but it has a shield around it. And you have to take out an arbitrary number of enemies around it before you can actually start to damage the main enemy itself, which is kind of dumb, because you have this thing attacking you that you just can't do anything about. Any parries or shots you do get in mean nothing because it's completely shielded until you break that meter. That and the arenas themselves aren't very interesting. In the first 2 Doom reboots, they were like very particular and intricate, and they were tight-knit, and it was fun to jump around and stuff. For the most part, they're just like flat plains in this game, which I can understand. I don't know. I wish the levels were more elaborate and tight-knit in their design. They're a lot more open now, especially with the arenas and just the levels in general, but I feel like that leads to a lack of like smarter game design. Of course, it opens the door for exploration, but you know, even that's made easier by how open everything is and how it kind of lays everything out. It's just way easier to find secrets, and they don't feel as satisfying anymore. And I guess my one more comment would be like the alternate play styles. Like, there's 2 main alternate play styles. The first one you get introduced to early on, which pretty much is its own like 10-minute level. I don't know why they decided to make it its own level. Later on, these were just like segments of normal levels where you switch between that gameplay. But one of the first gimmick levels is this mech level where you just mainly resort to punching in this like giant mech while you're able to like go over the land and like destroy stuff. Which, I'll be honest, the combat is just annoying in this. I'd rather be gunning. I'd rather have a gun as opposed to like just punching things over and over again, especially because of how slow the mech moves, so I kind of dread these segments. But the sections I do like are the flying dragon stages and segments. Those are awesome. You still get to shoot, it adds much to the aerial combat, and some of the bosses that they make with this are very interesting. That, and it's almost always like a secondary thing, so you still have your main like Doom running and gunning sections in the level, and then occasionally it'll bring you to one of these, which is, the mech levels are fine. I don't really like them, but I can deal. The flying levels are awesome. And that's about all I have for my initial thoughts on Doom the Dark Ages. Maybe when I complete the game, I'll come back and say some of my more spoilery thoughts on the game and see if any of my issues were resolved by the end game. But that's about it for now. Play this game. It's really good, I swear. If you like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, you will really enjoy this game, even if it's not your favorite. So, show it some love, please.